Abbas Hussain here from FightHype.com. I'm here with middleweight Mike Shipman. Mike, firstly, we're here, fight week, all that training, all that sacrifice that you put in is finally here. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel great. Like you said, all the work's been done pretty much. Now I can just get excited about, firstly, rehydrating and eating tomorrow, and then beating up Fabian Edwards, which I've been waiting to do for a very long time.
Let's talk about your name, Seabass. Just talk to the fans, tell the fans how that name came about.
Well, it's one of the ones, if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you got to watch Dumb and Dumber, and then get back to me.
Let's talk about your last fight. I lost to Costello Van Steenis. Normally when a fighter goes through a loss, there's certain changes that get made for his next fight. Just talk to me about the changes that you've made for this fight.
Yeah, the changes I've made is I've been seeing a dietitian now to try and get the most out of my body through my training camp, and just kind of working on my recovery and my body management so that I can get the most out of my machinery, the most out of my body, basically. And obviously, yeah, some adjustments on working the clinches, where I can catch breaks, where I can't catch breaks, where I'm safe, where I'm not. I didn't respect that position from him enough. I tried to catch a break in a position where I was in more danger than I thought, and I paid the price for it.
Let's talk about your opponent, Fabian Edwards. There's been a lot of back and forth. We know that, the way he sells himself, he does like to talk sometimes. So just talk to me about what you think of him as an opponent.
As an opponent, I think, I've got to take him seriously. He's a threat in a few areas. He's undefeated. But yeah, I don't think his pressure, his physicality is going to be up to scratch with mine. And just all round, he's not as good a martial artist or fighter.
Do you feel like this is his biggest test? Facing you is his biggest test?
Yeah, this is 100% his biggest test. This is going to be a transformative moment for him. This is going to be something he's going to think about for a long time, and either he's going to learn a lot from it, or it's going to destroy him.
I've been reading, and he's been talking about future fights. Like after you, he says if he beats you, he wants Costello. After that, he wants to go and fight the Americans. Do you feel like him talking about future fights is maybe taking an eye off this fight?
That's irrelevant to me, to be honest. Like his eyes can be wherever they want to be. He can say whatever he wants to say. It's not going to change the reality of what happens on Saturday. It's his business if he wants to look past me. It's my business what I do to him on Saturday.
Let's talk about Saturday then. We know you've got heavy hands. We've seen the sort of highlight reel of your knockouts. Do we expect a knockout on Saturday night?
Yeah, well, I've got knockouts, I've got submissions, I can knock out standing, I can knock out on the ground. I'm dangerous everywhere. I think you can expect to see a finish. I like to always give myself 1 or 2 rounds to do it, but the closer I get to the fight, the more I'm thinking it can happen in the first round.
Just a final question away from yourself. I just want to talk a little bit about UFC, but just one question really. We're coming to the end of the year. UFC's had most of its fights. We've got one more event in December where the welterweight title will be put on the line. But just talk to me about your UFC Fighter of the Year. Who do you think has shone in 2019? There's names like Israel Adesanya, there's obviously Jorge Masvidal, but give me your opinion on who you think UFC's Fighter of the Year is.
Yeah, for me, I guess the obvious one is Israel Adesanya. So obviously Jorge Masvidal's had a massive reinvention as well, and had some great performances, and but yeah, just Adesanya has been, I guess, particularly impressive for me. He looks like he is really changing between each fight as well. He had a close decision win against an old teammate of mine, Marvin Vettori, which from the looks of it could have gone either way, to be honest. But after that fight, yeah, he's impressed. To be honest, I thought I was edging Whittaker to win that fight, and that performance you can't really argue with it. And the way he carries himself and the way he promotes himself in the media is very impressive. Very impressive as a whole package.
Sorry, finally, one last question. Nick Diaz has been talking maybe about possibly returning in 2020. What do you make of Nick Diaz returning and maybe even fighting Jorge Masvidal?
I don't want to be especially rude, but I don't listen too much to kind of. Well, I don't know. Nick Diaz kind of has it seems to me like a bit of an unhealthy relationship with MMA. He doesn't know whether he loves it or hates it. kind of he's said stuff before, and it kind of it keeps him in the media. But like I don't know what he's going to do. I don't think anyone knows I don't know him personally, but I don't think anyone really knows what he's going to do. Maybe not even himself. I just think like I said, I don't think he's got the healthiest relationship with MMA. He doesn't really know how he feels about it. He says a lot of stuff, but will we actually see anything come of it? I'm not holding my breath. I think it's probably quite unlikely.
Cool. Mike, thank you very much for giving FightHype your time. Good luck on Saturday night, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Take care. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you.